Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a wear test. I am going to be trying the Milani mascara that I've heard so much about. This is the Milani tubing mascara. It's hard to really understand what the name of it is because there's so much going on the packaging, but this is the teal one that I've heard about so much from the lipstick lesbians on TikTok and Instagram. So it says highly rated lash extension, so I don't know if that's the name of it. Tubing mascara. It has a molded wand. So I'm just gonna try to read the packaging before I rip it open because once I open it, I'm not gonna be able to read any of this. So it has a molded wand that looks like this. We've seen a lot of brushes that look like this that are kind of tapered down. Um, and I th- I think because it's a tubing mascara, this is one of the ones that I would not be able to dip into and use on other people. I think it might be specific to the brush. So if I like it, I might buy another one and try it with my disposable spoolies so that I could use it on clients because obviously I want something that works. Right now I've been using the Essence Lash Princess. A lot of people like that one, and I find that I can use my spoolies with it without a problem. So I'm going to read to you the description. So this is in the color black. It said 93% had instant lifted longer looking lashes, and then lash extending tubing technology with 16-hour flake free wear. And that is consumer panel results. And then it has a before and after, and it does specify that these results are retouched. So it's hard to see, but the results do look nice. They don't look clumped together. They look longer. They look fuller. And then the rest is in a different language, and then it says up to 16-hour wear. Oh yeah. So and then on the back, basically everything that I just said. So I guess I didn't have to read the front. Um, but yes, it's called the highly rated lash extensions. So I'm gonna open up the package, maybe. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The packaging is very, very cute. And yeah, so just, yeah, highly rated. Okay, so I am going to curl my lashes. I have two lash curlers. I actually probably have more just with me. I have two. I have a regular curved lash curler, and then this one is a Morphe exclusive. This is a tiny little lash curler that really just gets like specific hairs. So this one, I've hurt myself using it before, so I don't use it as much. But we'll see because I do want to make sure that I get my lashes curled as much as possible. I've said it before, but I do not like to use anything that has heat, any of the heated curlers on my lashes, because over time that can cause damage to your lashes. Just like straightening your hair every single day, it's going to dry out, it's going to cause damage. So I don't prefer to use heat, even though heat would undeniably help my curls last more, like the curl of my lashes last more. You can see that I have very short, very straight, and downward lashes. Not much does anything for my lashes. I know that waterproof formulas are supposed to be better. However, I heard so much that was good about this that I decided to use this. I don't believe this has a waterproof equivalent. So I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. Like pumping them moving out just a little bit to create a little bit more of a C curl instead of like an L curl. Make sure I got everything a little bit of a curl. So that is still facing down quite a bit. So I'm going to go back and get as close to the root as possible. Yeah, I just have these like tiny downward facing lashes. I've tried a lot of products that claim that that's what like they're made for, but have not quite been able to find anything that does anything substantial. So I stick to the fake lashes or I don't do anything because it's just a waste. Okay, so we have curl in the lashes. And then now we're going to use the brush. So this is what the brush looks like. Don't really get an opportunity to wipe off any excess just based on how firm the brush bristles are. Like they're very firm. Okay, so first impression is that the product is very black, which I appreciate. Going to, oh, got a little bit on my lid, and got a little bit more on my lid. Could be wiggling. I would definitely say that that adds length. Like you're holy shit. But we're also gonna have to see how it wears. Ah, fuck. I blinked and got like a ton right underneath. But we'll get that off. Stop blinking, you bitch. I mean, that one looks a little less impressive, I think, than this side. But look at the curl. There's no curl left in that lash. And very little left in this lash. So that is something to keep in mind. I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to be putting more coats on it. Um, but I'm gonna let it dry. I'm also gonna see how it looks on my bottom lashes because I've got like 3 bottom lashes, so I'm gonna see how that works. So let's let this dry and let's see. So I'm taking a clean spoolie and I'm just going and gently rubbing. I mean, it doesn't feel awesome, like, but gently rubbing where that mascara was improperly placed. One thing is you want to make sure that it's fully dry before you do this, otherwise, it's just going to smear around. I think one thing that might work if you're using this mascara and you have lashes like mine is maybe if I had done a initial layer with a waterproof mascara like the Essence Lash Princess but the waterproof kind, to maintain the curl, and then if I added the tubing on top of that, maybe that would have worked better, but I don't know. And once you put mascara on, I would not suggest curling again um, because it's going to stick to the curler and you run a risk of damaging your lashes or pulling them out. So obviously we do not want that. So I'm going to go in. Again, I can't wipe off any excess, so if there's excess product that the brush has pulled up, I just have to deal with that. However, it looks like they specially designed the brush to kind of pull up the appropriate amount of product. Now that I have applied that second layer, I'm going to try and go in with just kind of the remnants on the brush and very gently see if I can get any of those like tiny little nothing hairs that I have to fill up because they're so small. So I have like a little bit of excess right there. I keep on wanting to wipe off excess. I can't do that with this brush. Try this way. I mean, to say that it adds length is an understatement. This is like the longest that my lashes have ever looked without fake lashes. But unfortunately, they're still facing down, which isn't terrible. It does look like I have thicker lashes. They're not like flared up. And it's 150 right now, just to, so we can keep track of how it wears. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and then I'm going to um, get off any of the excess. But we can see that any curl that my lash had is entirely gone. So the curling did absolutely nothing. But like I said, I do feel like maybe next time I try this, I'm gonna do um, if I want, I might do like a double wear test where I try the curl with the waterproof mascara first, and then I try this because it does add a lot of length, and it doesn't get super clumpy even on the second coat. I know it looks pretty bad. It's hard to show you because my lashes don't come up, but it doesn't come up very clumpy, and you can go through with a spoolie and separate any clumps if you do have them. I don't mind kind of how it's looking right now, personally, but that's adding a lot of length considering what I started with. So let's let it dry and then um, see what happens. Okay, so I went underneath and I used that dry spoolie once again to get off the excess. Usually, when I put mascara underneath my eyes, I get quite a bit on my skin because there just aren't many lashes. You can see right there. And I love this trick, it's so genius. Um, but this is kind of the best I can get out of my lower lashes. They're pretty pathetic. My whole lash situation isn't great, um, but I really do think that the waterproof um, trick might work. There's a possibility I could use the waterproof mascara now after two coats of this and put the waterproof on top and then just hold it until it dries. But I feel like to get a true wear test out of this, I want to just wear this one and see how it works. It promises to not flake, and I think that that's really important. It says it has up to 16 hours of wear, and so I'm really interested to see how this goes because as it goes for lengthening, I mean, I think it's pretty noticeable that I have some lengthening going on. Uh, so let's see how this wears and check in later. Okay, so it is 5:36, almost 5:40, and it was really hot today. I went out, I walked quite a bit, so this makeup held up in a very not so impressive way. So first of all, my uh, nose imprints from my glasses were awful. So, but that's to be expected when I just wear concealer. Like, it's just not gonna do what it needs to do. I'm very oily, sweaty, shiny, all of those things, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about um, the mascara. Also, I'm going to note that I was so hopeful. I thought I found a waterproof version of this formula. I did not. Close, but no dice. So this, I don't know if you can see, there's some black dots underneath, there's some black dots above on both eyes. Not like crazy, 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 but I did experience some flaking from this mascara, which is kind of the big thing that they're like, oh my gosh, it doesn't flake. I actually don't really experience flaking that often with mascaras. Um, so this is actually kind of um, a big letdown in that aspect because you talk at length about not flaking. I don't flake with many mascaras, and here we are in this position where we're flaking. My You can still see that it still looks good otherwise. I'm not It's not smearing. It hasn't, like, underneath my eyes hasn't gone like full raccoon, even given the heat and everything else. I don't think this is a terrible mascara by any means, but it did flake. Like it said it was gonna flake, and it flaked. So I went to the drugstore to pick up some of my medications, and during that time there was a Milani section. All the makeup was locked up, but welcome to LA. And so I looked at the Milani and section, and they had this mascara next to it. They had because this is the highly rated lash extensions. So next to it, they had the highly rated mascara, period. No lash extensions, part of it. And that mascara says that it's like lifting and that type of thing, but it does not say anything about the tubing effect of like making your lashes longer. It does say lengthening, but it does not say tubing. And I know I've said that probably like 50 times, but that to me was the selling point when I was, you know, doing when I was buying something so highly recommended. So okay, so we found the highly rated, as they say, which I feel like I fucking hate that name. I'm just gonna put it out there. I hate that naming convention because I can't talk about this and say I didn't like that. Be like I like the highly rated one because it tells me that it should be better. It tells me what it I should think of it when I should be able to come to that conclusion on my own. So I really don't like that. I don't like that I could like have to like try to figure out how to wordsmith around saying that I didn't like the highly rated lash extensions mascara because it says the name is highly rated. To me, that is kind of I don't know. I don't like that. I realized when I was looking through all these mascaras that I didn't like it. And one of the other reasons why is because next to the highly rated mascara, so we have the highly rated lash extensions, this mascara. Next to that we have a different mascara, different color tube. So if you're looking, that is helpful. But you still have to read all this tiny little print about whether or not that is the mascara you want, especially when it's locked up, because you can't grab it and look at the back and compare. Next to that is the highly rated waterproof. And so when I looked at that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, the mascara that I am test driving right now is comes in a waterproof formula, which is what I talked about previously." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, I am just gonna get that version and give that a try and see if that works." And then I was like, "Let me double check that it's a tubing mascara, just like the one that I'm trying." And it's not. It's a version of the highly rated mascara, not the highly rated lash extensions mascara. And this is where like the naming conventions and like the how things are marketed, I find them so infuriating because it's really confusing and I am so nitpicky about reading like labels for makeup before I buy it. And if someone is not as nitpicky as I am, they're gonna get confused and they're gonna buy something that they don't want, and that feels kind of like you're trying to trick me, and I don't like that. I feel like that's some bullshit, frankly. I don't hate this mascara. I think it does look nice. I think that I'm going to stick to my Essence Lash Princess that I can wear in a sanitary fashion. I mean, I'm gonna use this because I bought it, um, but it like the bottom lashes do look good if you are using Lash Princess from the tube. Lash Princess does have a hourglass shaped wand that is quite large, and I think it is very difficult to get lower lashes with that, which is why I went. I mean, because I use the disposable spoolie, it's not a huge deal when I do lower lashes using Lash Princess. But with this one, I found that the tapered kind of end did make it not so bad to do the lower lashes, and they did stay on very well. But I do have some flaking. I do have a little bit. Um, I wouldn't say transfer. I would just say it flaked off because it doesn't look like it's like a stamp of where my lashes were. And if you've worn a mascara, um, for me, like it would be like Maybelline Great Lash, which is a staple in a lot of kits. It was a staple in my kit for a long time. But if you start to get sweaty and stuff like this, you're gonna have like a stamp and like raccoon eyes from that mascara, and you don't get that from this. It was quite hot today. You can see that I'm extra super glowy. And that's because of the heat and also because of how I prep my skin because I didn't go full on face today. But I just have to say that this did flake on me, and that's one of its major claims. Um, and it still looks good, but it does have a couple. spots on each side where it flaked. So, and this is what I put on 150, and it's close to 550 right now. So that would be about 4 hours in heat for most of the time. So wearing it all day, I don't know what it would look like. I'm going to take my makeup off, um, but uh, but yeah. So maybe I'll do another check in later. I'm not quite sure, uh, but I'm just not really feeling how a lot of this is looking, and I'm not sure. I just want to powder over something that just doesn't look that great to begin with. But yeah, so my review overall of the Milani highly rated lash extensions tubing mascara is that I'm indifferent. I think there are better mascaras out there for cheaper, um, and it's not bad. It does have, the tubing technology that is different than other types of lengthening technology um, that we see. Excuse me. That we see at the drugstore. I believe this is the only tubing mascara at the drugstore currently. What is going on? That I know about. And I bought this based on the recommendation of the Lipstick Lesbians. This is not their fault. It might just not work for me, and that's totally fine. Maybe if my lashes were more curled, maybe that would have made a difference because there would be, maybe they wouldn't get so close to my cheeks that my lashes do touch my cheeks quite a bit, but maybe if they were more curled and you can hold a curl more, maybe you wouldn't have the same issue. Another possibility is that I had my glasses on while my glasses were not touching my lashes were not touching my lenses the whole time. If you do have glasses, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I'm trying to give this like some kind of a benefit of the doubt because this is talked about quite a bit. But it's all right. I wouldn't say ditch the mascara you love and go find this personally, but that's just me. I'm gonna give it a couple hours maybe, and we'll see. But unless I come back and say otherwise, that's just kind of how I'm feeling about it right now. So we'll see. Okay, so now it is 10:33 at night, and I'm going to take my glasses off and see how this looks. I should have done this in a mirror because now my eyes are like, So I can't see any additional flaking. So it's possible that maybe just the heat and oils from my face getting it into contact with the mascara broke it down. I'm not seeing, let's see, can zoom in. Yeah, there is some fallout. There's some transfer on my upper lid from it as well as below on my lashes. But most of my makeup does not look great. But on this eye, like there's a quite a bit of transfer up here, and I've been sitting in an air conditioned room since I got home. So I would say that this mascara it's not doing the long haul work that I've seen other mascaras do. So I hope this helped kind of let you know a little bit more about the mascara if you're thinking about trying it. And if you do try it or uh, you love it, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. If you have any opinion about anything, let me know because I'm always curious. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. I hope hope you liked this review. If there's any other drugstore products or other products that you would like me to see me review, always let me know because I'm happy to try them out. I have an idea worked up in my brain. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. Comparing a bunch of skin tints. First, I'm going to look at some drugstore options because they're almost every brand right now is coming out with skin tints. That seems to be kind of the really popular thing. There are a couple different delivery systems involved, whether it's liquid or put in a kind of like balmy stick. And then like every brand is doing it, and they're like, it's perfect for summer. And for someone who doesn't want to wear a full face of makeup, but wants to have a little bit of coverage on, this seems like it could be a good option. However, for me, you've seen that I do have combination and slightly problematic skin. It could be worse. I'm not breaking out nearly as bad as I was a couple years ago when testosterone was wreaking havoc on my body and my face. Um, but I still do have skin issues, and um, finding a skin tint and thinking about all the steps that I would have to do around it to make it work is a little intimidating. But I'm thinking of doing kind of the Clash of the Titans type of skin tint review, where I do wear tests of all of them back to back to back and see how well they work. But I'm not quite sure if anyone wants to watch that. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.